And after some days, I was called upon for some clarifications, which I came. And upon coming up, I was promptly arrested. Firstly, it was the Ojo police station that took me up and then handed me over to Ikeja Special Anti-Robbery Squad. I was like, what's going on? He said, there's a complaint against me from my boss that something happened and goods got missing and all that. I said, well, my boss has to come here so that we can iron out whatever issues, because something like that has happened before. And they called me to go back and resume that it was a mistake on their system. I said, okay. After we waited for the whole day, nothing happened. The next day, they brought me back to Ojo from Ikeja with so much threat, and my boss did not even show up there. He started beating me, leveling me, thief, fraudster, and all that. Paraded me around the whole market of Alaba International. He asked me to stand straight in their vehicle, showing my face everywhere. They even took me to my church. The beating was too much. The scars are still there, although, like I said earlier, with due respect, it's always a matter that the court has adjudicated on. They took me around everywhere with beating. They broke my head. The blood was gushing out. Then they took me back. They now called my boss then to come. I spent about 47 days with SARS at Ikeja. When they did all sorts of things to me, they tortured me. I even know two of their names. One is Inspector Sunday. They call him Baba Ijapa. The other one is ACP Haruna. They call him Baba Gana. So, I don't know, the torture was just too much. They suspended me, they tore my clothes, used my singlet, hung on my neck, put up a bucket of cement, bended me like this, a lot of things anyway. I still have some scars all over. After then, a counsel, because my family did not even know where I was, until when my mom and my wife eventually came. They started beating my wife and my mom in my presence. My boss will come and go, threatening everywhere that if they don't kill me here, they will make me mad. Okay? I was crying. Before then, when my wife later came, the last time she came with my mom, she told me that everything don't go. They broke everything. I was like, what kind of everything don't go? They took over my house, they sold my car, they took over some properties, and even my belongings inside my house, my generator, my inverter, and all of that, phones. And they did not bring any of these things in the SARS for me to even see, or like write. So all the thing they told me was that to write a statement that I embezzled money in my office then at my capacity as manager. I said I will do no such thing. The torture continued. But at the end of about 47 days thereabouts, they now said they would take me to a magistrate court with all the wound and everything. They even extracted 2 teeth from my mouth when they suspended me upside down. So when all these things were going on, I kept on praying, God help me. The last time I saw my boss then was when he came and he threatened that if I don't give him back the goods that got missing or the money equivalent, that I'm going to die there. I said, no problem, you are not God. At the end of the day, a lawyer intervened, courtesy of a lot of people, my mom and my late father and all that, which the matter now went to the Federal High Court in Lagos on fundamental rights enforcement. So graciously to God, the Honorable Court by Honorable Justice Ibrahim Buba gave a judgment in my favor, a ruling in my favor, at 10 million naira as exemplary damages. Until date, I've not heard anything, nothing whatsoever from them. I kept on asking the lawyer, who happens to be the person I work with now, Bros, what is going on, sir? I don't understand though. How can somebody have judgment since 2016 and he's still walking around? Nothing. No compliance whatsoever. What he told me was that the police and the bank on a proceeding for Ganishi, that they said they don't have police money, they don't have tax money, and that was it. No compensation has been made ever since till date. So that was why I told him, since there is a panel in Lagos now, a judicial panel in Lagos now, that has the capacity to, I don't know what, this is what I thought, and he said, okay, let us try. But really, I have been walking around ever since 2012 to date. Nothing, no compliance from the police on the ruling of the Federal High Court whatsoever. So that is my story, Lord. Thank you.
Mr. Abdul.
Yes.
Please, from your story so far, you said that some of your belongings were taken forcefully without your consent.
Yes. So, by the people
calm down, sir, calm down. And from your analysis, you have not told us whether at the end of the day those things were given back to you.
Never. With due respect, sir.
Okay.
Those things have not been given back to me, even as they are stated in the ruling. The only one I would say that we have gotten back through legal processes is the documents, landed property documents. We have gotten that back on 2017 by Honorable Justice Igile of the Lagos High Court then in Badagry. She was the one who ordered the release of my property documents. The property is at Yanosashi, Lagos, because they took over everything. So the person who they sold out my property to dragged me to court again, to a magistrate court in Badagry, saying that I wanted to kill him, that I'm threatening his life. Because there I was clearing the grass. The story is just too wide. They took me again to Badagry Magistrate Court from the same Ojo police station, that I want to kill him because he bought a property that belongs to me. I told them my story. They said no. They know how they do their thing anyway. They charged me to that court, one magistrate, I can't remember his name. At the end of the day, at first, that day, the magistrate remanded me in Totokiri prison. For what? I don't know. He gave me bail of 50,000 naira. I couldn't meet up. There was nothing anywhere again. I slept in Totokiri prison for like 3 days or 4 days before my people could run around and meet my bail. And as such, when the matter started going up at the Federal High Court, the magistrate in Badagry struck out the charge. Then the man, my lawyer, who is the lawyer I work with now have to sue the man for recovery of that land, that property. The man filed another suit again in that same division. The suit was consolidated by Justice Okikiolu Igile, and at the end of the day, the court gave a ruling that that property is still the property of Mr. Okoliago Abinike. Upon citing the judgment, the ruling of the Federal High Court then. So I got judgment on that very one. That is the only thing I would say I got. The rest of them, the Acura Jeep, the Volkswagen bus, the 3 BlackBerry phones, Samsung tablet, iPhone, not iPhone, 17 kVA generator, 50 bags of cement, 400 planks of wood, building wood, 5 kV inverter and battery has not been returned. Alternatively, the judgment sum of 10 million had not been paid. That is it.
Thank you for the audience, my lord. If I may ask you,
yes.
From your analysis so far, were you by the court for taking the property or stealing the property of your boss?
Okay, yes, thank you. At that time, when I was in SARS, because SARS did not just leave me like that. The magistrate court at Ikeja, then magistrate, I only remember that one, magistrate Oshodi then at Ikeja. The matter started going on. I kept on coming because the court, after I came out from remand on awaiting trial, the matter was going on. At the time, when this judgment now came, my lawyer now said, no, this judgment alternately, I don't know what, I can't remember, but he said, this judgment ought to have stopped all of these things. So we filed,
were you indicted?
Indicted, I mean, was I,
Like,
sorry, please, just break it down, please.
were you found guilty?
No, never.
Fine. What do you want this honorable panel to do for you?
I base all my complaint and petition on this judgment. I want this honorable panel, due respect and plea, to compel the police to do what the court has said, or if they can return my things, anyone, because I'm tired of suffering. I've been walking everywhere, going around for people to make ends meet, even school fees. Even how to live is a problem because of these people. The judgment is, the ruling is the first respondent is that my former boss. I don't even know how their whereabouts now. The divisional police officer or job police station, the inspector general of police, the special anti-robbery squad, SARS, Lagos State Police Command. Since then, nothing. So I want this, I most humbly apply, I want this honorable judicial panel of inquiry to ask the police to obey the yes. Because see, if they still have those things, bring it back, no problem. Because no court ever has said, my Mr. Man, you are going to jail because you are guilty till date. That is my humble plea. Your Lordship.
Any other thing?
On this petition, yes. No other thing.
My Lord, the distinguished members of the panel, that is the case of the petitioner.
Thank you very much. I have one question for Do you have the judgment of the Federal High Court?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I have a judgment of the Federal High Court. I even came with a copy, my Lord.
My Lord, distinguished member of the panel, we seek to tender the copy of the judgment as evidence. Thank you, my Lord.
Judgment of the Federal High Court of Justice I.N. Buba in suit HC/L/C/538 of 2014 in the case of Mr. Okoliago Abunike and Prince Cletus Obu and others is admitted as Exhibit A.
Let's go for this.
Any questions from other members of the panel?
Yes, Mr. Abunike.
Yes, sir.
This judgment was delivered on the 26th day of February 2016.
Yes, sir.
About 4 years ago.
Yes, sir.
What efforts have you made to enforce the judgment?
Yes. My lawyer has made one effort. He initiated garnishing proceeding, and the banks that came said
bring your camera down.
They don't have SAS account. They don't have that. And the matter was
Learned counsel, Mr. Ghazali.
Yes.
More.
As counsel, are you aware of the provisions of the Sheriffs and Civil Process Act concerning enforcement of judgment against public officers?
Very well.
You need to seek the consent of the Honorable Attorney General in respect of the enforcement of the judgment.
Very well.
Have you taken such steps?
Actually, my lord, I'm not the direct counsel that stood for him in that case. But I am aware of the provision of the Sheriff and Civil Process Act on relating to the enforcement of judgments of the court. But to this extent, I suppose the legal counsel, which is my senior, have taken all the steps necessary to ensure the judgments of that court, because I've been following the case, I'm not the legal counsel, to ensure that the judgment of this court is enforced by this court and is complied with.
Thank you. Thank you. Finally, Mr. Abunike.
yes, sir.
Inspector Sunday and ACP Haruna,
Yes, sir.
do you have their phone numbers that can assist us to trace them? Do you have anywhere or anything that can assist the panel to trace them?
Honestly, I don't have the numbers. I don't even have. There's one policeman.
In which stations did they work when you were in this?
Bring this camera down now. Why like this?
Thank you, my noble lord. That's all my questions.
Any other questions from other members of the panel?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Well, I just want to find out from the learned counsel, is there this judgment was obtained in 2016. Are you aware if there's any appeal on this judgment?
Excuse me, ma'am. I want to pick up the question to the issue. It will be more constant to the institution. If they don't appeal, it's not service. Thank you.
Mr. Abunike, are you aware of any appeal
I am
against
not
this?
aware. The reason why he's not aware is just a new lawyer. He's kind of a new lawyer in that office, so he's not properly in this very matter. But others I know, but this one targets his employment in that law. I'm not aware of any. If you're aware, Mr. Oluko would have told me or something else. I'm not aware.
Thank you.
Any other member?
Yes. Mr. Abunike, good afternoon.
Yeah.
Just to find out, you said you mentioned two names, Inspector Sunday, aka Baba Ijapa,
Yes.
and ACP Haruna.
Yes. ASP.
Oh, ASP, thank you. Did they ever appear in any of the proceedings?
No,
Are you aware if any disciplinary action has been taken against them?
not at all. I'm not aware.
You are not aware? Okay. Learned counsel, can you
provide us with definite information as to whether or not an appeal has been lodged. No, I don't mean now. I'm just saying as a follow-up to Mrs. Odusaya's question.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Abunike.
Thank you.
Mr. Bunike, I'd like to know, during this process, when justice was being meted on you,
Yes, sir.
your counsel, did he make any effort to write a petition to the Inspector of Police in respect of the deal you went through?
Not this council. The first one that my uncle.
What was the outcome of the petition written?
I wouldn't know, sir, because I was still with them in their cell. I don't know. It was when I came out that lawyer, I can't even remember his name, he was brought by my maternal uncle. So my maternal uncle told me to go and greet that lawyer that the lawyer tried. So I went there, I greeted him, he said he wrote a petition, that was why he started running around on how to push me to court. If not, that my boss then vowed that I am going to die there. Because a lot of things happened to me then, but thank God I'm alive. So after that lawyer withdrew because there was no money. My maternal uncle told me that he had done his best just to bring me out from these people. So I should now sort myself out. I later went to another lawyer again, Shaolu Chambers, something, yes, at Bariga. Those ones were the ones who came for the magistrate court matter then before this learned counsel here, Barrister Woodford. So those ones, whatever they did, I wouldn't know because some lawyers don't relate to their client. They will not tell you, they will just tell you, don't worry, all is well, and that was it. So the only one I know very well is this one I have handy on this judgment.
All right, you're watching Arise coverage of the Lagos panel of inquiry sitting, and that is Mr. Okoliago Abunike testifying. What a harrowing experience, Leila and Adesua.
Indeed. Go ahead, Leila.
Absolutely. I mean, listening to that, I had absolute chills. The fact that this is a case that had been before the Federal High Court. 2016, the judgment was given. 4 years later, he still hasn't received any compensation whatsoever for his harrowing experience that he went through. And these are the stories that we're going to be hearing when we go through these live sittings of the judicial panel. And there is certainly more to come. I just wanted to point out that, of course, here on Arise News, we will be going back to the judicial panel shortly to continue covering the current live sittings. Adesua.
And he talked about scars. So, sometimes you get scar-bearing victim. I think that's the way I would like to describe him. And it's not just the physical scars we would see from some of these victims of police brutality. There are those who live with the psychological scars, the trauma that we cannot see physically. But nobody has thought about that to say, what is the experience these victims have gone through? Have they healed? You talked about receiving a judgment in 2016 and there's no compensation 4 years after.
10 million damages for the things that all of a sudden... the picture the young man is painting occurs now and then, where somebody who has power of some sort will get to the police and complain. And then the police will swoop in on the guy or the lady or whoever. And then he goes into oblivion. You don't know where he is. I was so piqued when they said the wife and the mother came and they beat the wife and the mother.
And let's not forget, according to him, that's after 47 days.
After 47 days.
Of no one knowing his whereabouts.
Yeah.
47 days in custody.
And I really wanted to get, I'm sure they're going to talk more, but I really wanted to get to the root of, okay, well, I think he mentioned that the boss said he stole money from his company. That was never proven.
And that's another point. Yeah. So,
even if you steal money.
Yes, people said the police is a reflection of society. And we know, in as much as we like to pass the buck and put the blame at the footstep of the police, there are members of the society who have made the police what it is today. He made mention of his boss, accusing him of stealing property or some document or something, and then took him to the police. And then this happened to him.
The only thing that he was able to obtain from all of this was his property documents, and that was in 2017.
His house was sold.
To hear him speaking about the fact that he could not do anything, couldn't provide,
Helpless.
even when he was thrown into prison, he couldn't even bring 50,000 naira forward for bail, and he was there for 3 to 4 days. These are live feeds now from Lekki, where the Lagos Judicial Panel of Inquiry is ongoing.
This is a very important task that has been assigned to the panel, and we therefore need all hands on deck to unravel a lot of things that has happened in our society, particularly the incident of the 20th of October 2020. And we as a state are determined to get to the bottom of that matter, and we will leave no stone unturned to ensure that justice is done to all concerned on both sides. So my chairman of the panel and all distinguished members, we pledge our cooperation, and we ask all parties to do the same. I'm glad that my brother, President of the bar, Mr. Oluwapata, the chairman of the Lagos branch of the Nigerian Bar Association, Mr. Akode, they are also both here to show their support to this process and to ensure that at the end of the day, whatever decision that this panel will take will be in the interest of justice and none other. I thank you all for your commitment to service, for taking time out to serve the state and the nation. And just to assure you that in Lagos State will ensure your independence, there will be no interference from the executive, and that anybody who has been abused can come forward to state their case, and also to give audience to the people who have been accused to also defend themselves. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I take my leave now, since I know that the work of the panel has started in earnest. Thank you very much. Perhaps my Lord might just want to clear, because I noticed at the last council appearing before my Lordship's panel, do we stand or do we sit? I think those little ground rules need to be set so that we know where we are. Before they take a picture and show a council sitting down and they say, oh, he has no respect for the panel. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Attorney General. The point is well taken as to what position counsel in matters should take. It's a judicial panel. It's always in the place of counsel in court to address the court standing. The victims and those defending cases of abuses will be allowed to take their seat if leave of the panel is sought. Thank you very much. We're happy to have you with us. And please send assurance to the people of Lagos State that we will do our best to discharge justice as it regards SARS abuses and events of the 20th of October 2020, earnestly and with all it takes to get to the roots of the matters. I thank you very much for being here with us.
Thank you.
Sitting now.
The last case, the case we just finished of Kolia, the panel will make It's finding loan within 7 days from today. Within 7 working days from today. The next on the list is LASD/JPI/02/2020. Mr. Ndukwe Ekegwe versus Federal Special Anti-Robbery Squad. Mr. Ndukwe, please.
Is the complainant here before the panel? Okay. Any legal representation?
Record, please. CEO, examine. The appearance is for the petitioner. Thank you.
Any other representation on the other side? Yes, Mr. Ghazali.
Thank you.
Take his evidence and you can come back to defend him. Anyway, it's always best for the accuser.
Distinguished, I want to applaud this. The panel, the global panel, to allow the mother or the petitioner to say their name.
She has my leave. Yes.
Mr.
Say your full name, please. Is there a by question? You are here by question. You are here by question. Just say the way I say it. That I'm here by question. If I tell a lie. In my testimony before this tribunal. I willfully mislead this tribunal. I willfully mislead this tribunal. I will be liable to be prosecuted. If found guilty. I will be seriously dealt with. According to the law. That is your word. I, your name. Swear by Almighty God. That the evidence I shall give.
Before this tribunal.
Before this tribunal.
Will be the truth.
Will be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
That's why the Bible speaks in English.
Well, the petition shows the name of one Hamzat Haruna as a SARS operative who the evidence is against. We have sent a summons to the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State, for him to attend proceedings before this panel. He is not here with us today. In view of that situation, since he is known and we have his phone number, the tribunal is of the view that the matter will be adjourned. So let him appear before the panel, hear the allegations made against him and defend himself.
Thank you.
We will be given an adjournment for a period of 7 days. I regret that position because of the condition of the complainant, but the law is still the law. We might say the panel is a fact-finding one, but it operates within the provisions of the law. So we'll give a try for 7 days. If he does not attend then we would move on with the proceedings.
Thank you.
Registrar of Courts, give us an adjournment within 7 days. After 7 days.
Let's be 7 days.
And give me the date now. Give me the date. You announce the adjournment.
3rd of November.
Proceedings in this petition is adjourned to 3rd November 2020.
Thank you, Madam.
Yes. Yes. The President?
With regard to permission of God, I do not need to interrupt the proceeding, but I would like to kind to leave to see that things are moving on swiftly with the panel. And as I mentioned, my Lord, yesterday, we will indeed, as an association, be working closely with the panel to ensure that you achieve your objectives. There is indeed in the room today a representative of the thank you. There is indeed in the room today a representative of the NBA observing proceedings, and we shall try to ensure that that is the case for all the days of your sitting.
Thank you.
And I'm glad to see that the council is representing the parties today, but as we have indicated before now, in the event that there is any victim who is unable to procure the services of the lawyer, the NBA will organize for that person to be represented in this panel and in the others around the country. So I'm most grateful, my Lord, if you would permit myself and the chairman of the NBA Lagos, Mr. Yemi Akungbe, we have to proceed to the Court of Appeal to inspect, to visit with that court and see the situation there, my Lord. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. It's been very kind of you. We appreciate all the interest you have shown, the concerns, and the willingness to assist the panel discharge its duties effectively and effectually. We're most obliged to the Nigerian Bar Association. Thank you very much, Chairman Lagos Branch. We appreciate you as well. We thank you for your time and the support. Do have a nice day.
Thank you.
Very expedient. Next petition on the list, LA/JPI/03/2020. Mr. Olukoya Ogunbede. Mr. Olukoya Ogunbede. Are you Mr. Olukoya Ogunbede?
Some a legal representative from them to serve
Mr. Olukoya Ogunbede. Federal Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SAS.
Yes, complainants in court.
I announced my appearance for the petitioner, Mr. Olukoya Ogunbede. My Lord, the petitioner is not in court today due to the reason beyond control. And we want to apologize to his death. Mr. Olukoya Ogunbede being the principal of the Lafayette Chamber, we want a petition to this honorable panel, and he said that we want to, on his behalf, we want to apply that the content of the petition should be adopted. And in the event that it cannot be adopted, we are appealing to the local mind of this Alo Chamber to give us another date.
2 weeks.
Thank you, madam.
We are not looking into it today. We can discuss other matters. 14 days. Registrar, give us another date within 14 days.
10th November.
My Lord, since you are having
2 weeks.
Yes. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yes. That's right. 2 weeks.
My Lord, since we are having a sister case for all of this month, 2020, or November, 3rd of November this month, next month, we want to appeal that this case of this immunity should be fixed for that day.
Give him the 3rd of November. We don't have too many. We are taking 40 days. Let's make it convenient for them as well. I think that date is okay.
Okay, let's do it the Friday after. Let's not give them that day.
What did you have for us, Registrar?
What is our like sitting with the market?
On that side.
After 10. The next sitting day can be Friday, is not good.
Friday. That's
6th November, convenient?
Stop, please.
The application for the adoption of the petition as evidence before this panel is hereby refused. Petition stands adjourned to 6th November 2020. Fourth hearing.
Thank you.
That petition is LASG/JPI/05/2020. Mr. Pastel, Chapter 81, Federal Special Robbery Law, signed.
Okay, my probably announce my appearance once again.
Petitioner here?
No. Mr. Bassi. I was directed to actually adopt the petition, but since the panelists are not applying to, so I want to seek for further dates as well. We are very sorry for any inconvenience. Very sorry for regret any inconvenience. Thank you.
This petition is hereby adjourned to 6th November 2024 hearing. The proceedings of the panel must come to an end for the day. We never anticipated that some of the petitions would not go on. So the sitting must close for the day, and the panel would be meeting again on Friday. What date is that? What date is Friday?
Friday is
6th November 20.
Friday is 13th.
Friday of this week.
Yes,
Yes, it's correct. It's correct.
He said
Friday is 13th.
proceedings will adjourn to Friday, 30th October 2020 at 10 a.m.
Alright.
you've been watching the Judicial panel investigating police brutality in Lagos and the recent shootings of unarmed protesters in the financial hub of Lagos, Lekki to be precise. We've so far been able to hear just one testimony for the day, and that came from Mr. Okoliago Abunike. Just like the presiding panel chairman, Justice Doris Okwobi, said there, they had to unfortunately come to an end today because the petitioners didn't show up or were not available